What's up there? This is Nick here with some rich insights for the evening. Today is another episode of the TAO chain breakdown and analysis. So, as I always do, I'm going to open to a random chapter, and as I get settled in here, we will get down to it. Okay, this one is chapter 30. Let there be a small state with few people, where military devices find no use. Let the people look solemnly upon death, and banish the thought of moving elsewhere. They may have carts and boats, but there is no reason to ride them. They may have armor and weapons, but they have no reason to display them. Let the people go back to tying knots, to keep records. Let their food be savory, their clothes beautiful, their customs pleasurable, and their dwellings secure. Though they may gaze across at a neighboring state and hear the sounds of its dogs and chickens, the people will never travel back and forth till they die of old age. It's a beautiful one, isn't it? It brings up thoughts of a very idyllic time where life is joyful and pleasurable and in balance and happy. So, breaking it down, paragraph by paragraph, here we go. Let there be a small state with few people, where military devices find no use. Let the people look solemnly upon death, and banish the thought of moving elsewhere. Small state with few people seems to me like a state where everyone can have a relationship with each other, and a familiarity and accountability. And to me, these states, I feel, they can form, or they do form, even in a massive city like New York. I lived in New York for a few months, and each little neighborhood was its own little community, and people knew each other. And where military devices find no use, I think this comes from the insularness of the society and the familiarity amongst each other. They have no need to use these devices because everybody knows each other and everybody's a part of each other's lives. Let the people look solemnly upon death and banish the thought of moving elsewhere. This has to do a lot, I think, with desire. Desire to be young, desire to be beautiful, desire to go travel and see what else there is. While there's nothing really wrong with these things, I think it's highlighting the fact that being content is a value that allows for a good life and allows for a happy life, or at least is the foundation thereof. They may have carts and boats, but there is no reason to ride them. They may have armor and weapons, but they have no reason to display them. So in this sort of ideal society, they can have technology and capability while there is not a reason to use it because they're so well adapted to themselves and the people around them, and their values are very much so in line with themselves that they do not need to reach out for and use these external devices, but they are in touch internally with the world around them. And yet they have the devices at the same time, but they have made their situation to where they do not have to use them. Make sense? Let the people go back to tying knots to keep records. Let their food be savory, their clothes be beautiful, their customs pleasurable, and their dwellings secure. For some reason, this entire chapter is bringing up images of like the mountains of Switzerland for some reason, where people are very simple, their food is delicious, their clothes are colorful and beautiful, their customs are jolly, their houses are safe, and their communities are safe as well. And Switzerland may be the ideal place to live. I don't know. But this is just what it makes me think about. Though they may gaze across at a neighboring state, hear the sounds of its dogs and chickens, there, the people will never travel back and forth till they die of old age. This kind of lack of desire, I think, is highlighted in higher levels of people where they're just content with where they're at and they are at peace with the world around them. And it just all seems very idyllic. And it mentions gazing on death a few times, or it mentions death. And I've read another translation of the Tao Te Ching, where it's where they contemplate death and they think about death and not, existing and being here. And that is very different from how contemporary society is, where we don't really contemplate death in the fact that it applies to us. And I think that allows us to kind of stray from what our core values are, because we don't believe that we're going to die, or we believe that we're limitless. Unless you look at a very small group of people, and I think maybe like the adventurers or spiritual people, or maybe very aggressive business people who do think about their death, and they do realize that this is impermanent, and then that motivates them to go out and do stuff. Also, there are some understated people who don't openly talk about it, but I'm sure they kind of just enjoy peacefully what they have and understand it is passing and understand it is impermanent. So I'm getting the video there, here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a little bit of wisdom out of the Tao Te Ching, chapter 30 today. I will catch you all again very soon. Peace.